So let's say you're running a special promotion like a guaranteed sold program. Your home sold in 30 days, or I'll buy it. One of those Craig Proctor strategies that are pretty prevalent in our industry. If you're running one of those types of systems in your business, under a custom page would be a great way to do that. You create the custom page, and then you're going to edit your reply email and thank you screen. And again, we want to stick to the strategy here when you're setting up that auto response, that it's relevant to the customer's request. And this is probably where the rules of calling or scheduling appointments are more prevalent than in the special promotions box, because here you're gonna have places for people to put their phone number. And if they do put their phone number and say, hey, I noticed that you put your phone number in the form, I will be calling you within the next 24 hours. So be sure to let them know that you're going to be calling if that's what you're going to be doing. Okay. Also, if you have specific appointment times, if someone's calling in on a guaranteed sold system, you may want to let them know in the autoresponder that, hey, I typically go on listing appointments between 3 and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. So it kind of sets the expectation. Or if it's a buyer program that may require an agreement, maybe you can express that in your autoresponder, so people know what to expect when they engage. When you call, they're expecting it. They're expecting the rules of engagement. Okay? And again, never too late to ask for feedback. I mean, never too early to ask for referrals. Now, the other section where the majority of the follow-up happens, or the follow-up systems in your Property Minder website, are happening in these two areas here. In your MLS searches, and again, we're going to be talking more in depth on the MLS searches next week. And it's pretty important because the MLS searches, or property listings, they are really the #1 reason people are online looking at websites with regards to real estate. So that's a pretty important section. We're going to talk about that next week. But today we're going to focus on this client relationship management tool here. And this is where your database of clients is housed. Okay. When you open up your client relationship manager, you may want to get familiar with the follow-up campaigns. So if you click on the follow-up campaigns, this is the screen that'll appear. There are a variety of different follow-up campaigns with your toolkit that are already pre-done for you, and you're more than welcome to use any of our pre-designed messages. We have our annual campaigns, which are typically, an annual campaign will be your happy holiday, first day of spring, New Year's greetings, spring forward, fall back, Thanksgivings, Christmases, those lovely holiday cards that we send. And we do have a variety of colorful templates that you can leverage, as well as predefined messages. But everything that we have is also editable, so you can edit the message to really focus in on your specific business. The other type of annual campaigns are system campaigns, such as a move-in campaign. If you record the date that someone moved into their home, you can send them a happy anniversary email, or if you have their date of birth, you can send them a happy birthday message. And if once you input the information, obviously the system will automatically send those out for you. So it's very important, I think, that you guys get familiar with what's already available in your site. We have a variety of different messages for first-time home buyers that are pre-done. Also for people that you engage in an open house, those are more like drip campaigns, and just a variety of different messages for a variety of different events, such as holidays, birthdays, so forth and so on. So go into your follow-up campaigns in your CRM, click on the message library, and that's where you can get in and play with and customize all those follow-up campaigns. Now, one of the most critical steps when working with your Acceleragent website is to get your database into the website, so that the follow-up systems can start maintaining contact automatically with all the people that you know. Okay, you want to input all your contacts into the Property Minder CRM. Now, you are the website owner here, folks. You are the only person with access to your contacts. This is your database. Okay, so you own the website. This is your personal stuff that only you have access to. Okay, if you have all your contacts in Outlook, or if you have them in another database, it's pretty easy to import your contacts over. There is an import button on the custom client relationship management that you can press, and it'll give you instructions. If you don't have a database online right now, and all your contacts are spread on sticky notes all over your desk, this is a great time to get that organized and get those guys into a system online somewhere. Okay, so you have to manually input your contacts. Yes, it's tedious, but it could be very effective anyway because you have to call all your contacts anyway. This would be a great way if you are one of the lovely sticky note warriors out there with names and numbers on sticky notes. Call them when you call them. Just create your habit and put their data into the CRM. Now, some things to consider when inputting contact information into the client relationship management database. You want to make sure that your database is complete, and there's some very, very key things that you want to make sure you have. Now, if there's things that are missing, it's a great excuse to call and get those things from those contact records. All right. So the number one thing you want to have is you make sure, obviously, you want to have their names. You have to have their email addresses. You need an email address. That's how the system records. You have to have an email address in order for them to be an official contact record in your Property Minder CRM. You want to make sure you have phone numbers for your clients so you can call them. And then if you have their dates of birth, that's great because if you have this date of birth filled in, the system will automatically send out the happy birthday card. Nice happy birthday card. Also your anniversary of home ownership. Another excuse to touch someone, and so forth and so on. But the most important things here, birth dates, move-in dates, phone numbers, and email addresses. Oh, and you want to also make sure you have their home address too so that you can set them up on an MLS search for comps in their area. And we'll talk more about that next week. All right. So you can also leverage your social network sites like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and Twitter. If you may be missing some of this information, it may be available on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter so you can fill it in automatically. So be sure to review those other databases. Also, it may be easy to export your Facebook contacts into your CRM, something you want to check out with Facebook to see if you can push your clients out of there. Now, once you have your clients in your Property Minder Accelerator Agent website, it's important for you to group your contacts. Now, your CRM allows you to have an unlimited number of groups. And every contact record can belong to multiple groups. So as I'm going through this basic system here for grouping your contacts, this is just an idea for you guys. You don't have to follow this to the T if you don't want to, but something to think about, okay, when you're setting up your CRM. One way to do it would be to classify your contacts as A-list, B-list, C-list, and D-list. And what this means, complete and current, means that you have their complete and current contact information. So you have their current address, and it's complete. You have their address, you have their phone number, you have their move-in date, and you have their date of birth. And people that are in my A-list would be people that obviously I have all their information, and they would use me and they would refer me to. So these are people like my mom, obviously, people I've sold a home to, so forth and so on. Okay. A B-list is people you have complete and current information for. So they've registered on your website. Maybe they've engaged a few of the promotions that you've been running. So you have all of their complete and current information, but you haven't done a deal yet. You don't really know these people, maybe have never met them. So they may use you and refer you, or they may not. Okay. C-list people would be people you don't have complete information for. Maybe you're missing a phone number, missing an address. You don't know their date of birth. But you know, they may use your services, and they respond to your communication. So you're sending them property listings. They're looking at the listings you're sending them. They're engaging with your services, but you don't quite have all of their information. And then the D-list is people you have incomplete information for. They're not necessarily responsive, and people you probably want to get rid of pretty quick or pretty soon. So maybe they registered on your website a year ago, but they've never looked at the searches you've sent them, or they've never responded to any of the marketing that you've sent their way. Probably a good idea to stop wasting your time, effort, and energy with these people and get them off your list. All right. The most powerful thing we can have, folks, in the real estate business, in my opinion, is an accurate database. Because if you have an accurate database, you can much easier. It's much easier to predict what your business is going to look like. Okay. If you have, 150 or 200 people that are really strong people in your database, A-list and B-list people, you can project that, okay, I know that, people on average move once every 7 years. And I know that these people, there's a good chance, maybe out of these 200, the 30 of which are my A-list, they'll definitely use me and refer me. And the other 120 are B-list people that they're responsive, and there's a good chance that they'll use me, I can pretty much predict that I'll get a transaction for every 10 names on my database every year, because I know that, hey, people move once every 7 years or every 6 years or so, and there's a good chance that the A-list people are going to maybe use me for sure. And if I have 30 of them, well, let's say I have 35 of them, keep the math simple, right? If I have 35 of them and they move every 7 years, well, chances are 5 of those 35 people are going to move this year, and they're definitely going to use me. So I got 5 deals right there. And then in my B-list people, well, maybe 1 in 25 will use me. So I have another 150 of those. That's another 6 transactions. So I'm up, and I got 11 deals from my A-list and B-list each and every year. And then you let those things grow and work your referral systems and watch those transaction numbers grow. So it's important to have a very strong database that you can project from. Other ways of grouping people, you want to have your network of agents in there. We make it easy to get all your coworkers from your office in there. You can easily import all of the agents that are in your office with the click of a button. So you want to get those in your network, but also other agents that you like in your neighborhood that work the area, because you want to be able to market your listings to these network of agents quickly and easily, and you can do that with your CRM. Maybe group people as past clients, friends, business associates, homeowners, renters, investors, first-time buyers, so forth and so on. Because the reason why you want to group these people is that when we're sending marketing messages, you can send relevant marketing messages to people. Okay? If I'm a golfer and I know I have 30 people that play golf in my database, but the other 150 don't, wouldn't it be nice to say, oh, I have an opening in my foursome this weekend. I want to send that message just to the 30 people I know that play golf, not the other 150 people, because they'll probably be mad at me for playing golf on the weekend when I should be holding their house open, right? So we want to send the messages that are relevant to our clients. So you can use your contact list and your groups of people to send messages or send listings, or just follow up in general to a whole group of people. So if you're working, let's say I just got a brand new listing and I want to market it to agents that I know that work the neighborhood, the same neighborhoods I work, I could go to my network group and send my listing out to the agents in my network. All right. Also, if you're working with, obviously we're working with customers and clients, you have your captured visitors, you have people that come onto your website. It's important to be able to group them so you can send them relevant follow-up information. Like, for example, we have a new registered visitor here as an example. This agent, Miss Shelley Thompson, this is a demo site, guys, so don't worry. We're not sharing any critical information from an actual realtor. But let's say this hypothetical buyer came on. Shelley called them or contacted her, so she knows that, hey, Miss JoJo here, she's in our C list because we don't have an address for her. I don't know her date of birth yet. But in our conversations or some of the marketing that she may have responded to, I've identified her as a first-time home buyer. I know that she has kids. I'm going to put her in my sphere of influence. And I know that she likes coffee. So if I'm going to be marketing to people and letting people know that, hey, I'm going to be at Starbucks from 10 to noon, please come by, I'll buy you a cup of coffee, we can talk about real estate, it would be important to send that to the people you know that like coffee. Or if I have an extra ticket, or an extra couple of tickets to Disney on Ice, wouldn't it be nice to send that to the messages of people I know that have kids? Or if I have a special seminar that I want to conduct for people that are first-time buyers in my office on a Saturday, it would be great to send information to the people that I know are first-time home buyers. So by being able to group our clients, we can then leverage our CRM to send relevant messages to the group and have specific results and better results, because we're sending messages that resonate in our prospect's mind. All right. So with regards to the follow-up campaigns, there's a couple of different ways that we can follow up with clients in our follow-up campaign category. Now, we have our annual campaigns and we have our drip campaigns. And again, the annual campaigns are our lovely holiday messages, and then with system campaigns with the birthday cards and the move-ins. And then there's also the capacity for you to make drip campaigns. We'll talk a little bit about drip campaigns in a second here. So